Merkabah, it's rooted, that word, in Judaic wisdom from the Kabbalah. And a Merkabah is it can be interpreted in different ways depending on the tradition. The way that I understand it, personal to me, is it's the field of light of our higher vehicle. The Merkabah is this higher light body of our soul, right? But it also is the collective light field. It's not just ours; it's also the collectivity. So as we sort of tune our light body, our Merkabah, our interdimensional field, and it's tuning, right? We take these tuning forks and we're tuning different areas of our life, and we're coming them into we're bringing them into resonance, and then the whole Merkabah starts to hum, and then we discover a deeper Merkabah, which is the collective one, the collective field, the higher field, and we start to move in resonance with this much heightened field, with the literally the harmony of the spheres, so we start to come into this high dimensional field, and that's where these different gifts start to emerge from inside us, because we're tuning our endocrine system, we're tuning our biology, we're tuning our biome, and I can guarantee you that you go on this journey, you're going to change in some way your diet, because it's going to become part of your process, because you're going to be looking deep inside and feeling and tuning to your biome and your biology. And how can you do that and not? I mean, unless it's fine tuning. It doesn't mean you have, because diet is one of those things, like, it's unique to each person. Like, there's no kind of set, like, this is the diet for everyone. It's like, what is your specific, and it might be month by, each time you do an assessment or an action triangle, you might shift what you eat and I don't just mean diet as in nutrition as well. I mean, like, higher nutrition is what you can look at different levels, because you're going to be making subtle adjustments to your being, your biology, and all of it. So it's really tuning into you, and then that Merkabah it starts to sort of resonate deeply, and you're going to be working in the second self-assessment, particularly with your harmonic triangle, which is the triangle that's made up of your 3 highest scores. So in other words, those are your strengths. So it identifies, well, these are my strengths. These 3 gene keys, and you can look at you'll be able to look at yours. You can look at any time and go, well, these gifts are the ones that are already humming well, or better than the others anyway. So when you can identify those strengths, you can nourish them even more. And sometimes when we build on our strengths, it has a kind of exponential effect on our life, more than we realize. So we work on our weaknesses and we tune them, our dissonances, right? Dissonance is a better word than weakness, because it's not really a weakness. It's just something that's out of harmony, out of tune. So as we start to tune those shadows, we then also start to kind of dial even more the gifts. And that kind of then brings the siddhis into play, these highest keynotes, like the overtones of consciousness. We start to kind of hear them at some deep level. Actually, you might even physically hear them. Some people do. But you'll feel them in the field, and you'll see results coming to you, because you'll see opportunities, you'll see synchronicities, you'll feel new things occurring, like new shoots budding all around you. I mean, there's a section in the course called the miracle field in the introduction, which describes how this operates and what the miracle field really is. It's a field that we kind of have to elevate ourselves into. We have to rise into it, and then it starts to operate around us. So, we can't bypass the shadow work to do that. And that's why we start with the dissonance and the disharmony, and we carry on working with shadows throughout the program. But we also, when you come to the Merkabah part, you're really listening to the higher field. You're invited to really focus on your siddhis, on the highest vibrations. So your gene key 10, for example, its highest frequency is this lovely word being. Being. And so as you tune into being, you're going to also feel moments of being, pure being, where everything just drops away. Just moments like when I was describing that ecstasy, just moments where you're probably alone and you're just saturated by the essence of being, of your being, and being itself, being everywhere, being in other people. And you might have it at the weirdest moment. You might even have it when someone's like, who knows, shouting at you, and it just suddenly like it hits you. This is the being, so you just never know when these higher dimensions are going to open up. But so what this course and program does is it creates the conditions for them. It creates optimal conditions so that those miraculous epiphanies can begin to occur more often in our lives. And then we have to integrate them, So that's a process that takes time, because if every time you have one of those higher epiphanies, it's a change in your DNA. It's a mutation that's taken place through your actual physical DNA. It's something you feel very physically. It's a mystical experience. Can really change you permanently, and that then requires more integration, because you then got to be like, you got to come down off that energy and integrate that into an ordinary human life, and that takes some further time and energy. So the program gives you that time, it gives you that space. It's based on the art of contemplation, which I know we've talked about in the past. It's like creating that art in our life as a way of being, so that creates the space for these heightened frequencies to land in our lives, And if you don't have a contemplative practice, then there's no opportunity for those higher frequencies to kind of blossom in you. So, yeah, it can give you a lot of layers.
Hey there, Inspired Evolutionary. If you absolutely loved this, well then here's a full conversation with this guest on the Inspired Evolution podcast. Check it out now.